And we're on to the Dallas Cowboys. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to give you my keys to victory and a full preview for the Giants Week 2 matchup against Dallas. First, though, if you want to beat the Cowboys, get to 1-1 and wake up on Monday and celebrate Victory Monday, hit that thumbs up icon right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Both teams coming into this matchup 0-1, facing a must-win situation if they want to move on and have their season mean something. Because 0-2, it's essentially a death sentence in the National Football League. The Cowboys enter this one as 5.5-point favorites over the New York Football Giants, with the total over-under set at 44.5. So Las Vegas is expecting a low-scoring game, with the Cowboys to take care of business. The Cowboys unable to take care of business, though, in Week 1 as they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 24-20. It was a really good game. There was a lot that went down in that game. And the Dallas Cowboys, as well as the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles scored, 3 points. The Cowboys were shut out in that second half. But in the first half, they put scoring drive after scoring drive together, and they looked like they were humming. But then there was a thunderstorm delay, the rain came down, and they were unable to move the ball. I thought Dak Prescott looked good. The stats don't really say it. 21 completions for 188 yards. He had a touchdown drop by Jake Ferguson. He had at least 4 passes dropped by CeeDee Lamb, and I thought he looked good. Thought he was dotting up that Eagles defense. But unfortunately, and I guess fortunately, they did lose for us Giants fans. But we're both on to Week 2. And some injuries to monitor for both sides. The Dallas Cowboys are dealing with a hooker injury. Malik Hooker is dealing with a toe injury. We'll see if that keeps him out of action this week. Andrew Thomas did not play in Week 1. Will he play in Week 2? I would think the chances are higher, but I have kind of just came to the realization I'm never expecting him to play. So when he does, feels like I'm adding something to my life because him not playing just takes joy away at this point. Mike McFadden does have that leg injury. We're hearing different reports about the severity of that. Yesterday, we heard the Giants may have dodged a bullet. Today, maybe not so much, so we'll wait to see what the official diagnosis is. I reached out to my guy, Tom Downey, who hosts the Cowboys Report here at Chat Sports, and I asked him, what are your 5 keys to victory for the Cowboys? And let's start with this one. Dak, dominate. And he was being a real asshole about it and said, again, because Dak Prescott, I don't think has lost to the New York Giants in 14 games. I don't remember the last time the Giants beat a Dak Prescott-led Cowboy team. In the 15 games he's played against the New York Giants, he has dominated, completing north of 65% of his passes, nearly 4,000 yards in 15 games. He's throwing the ball down the field, 7.9 yards per attempt. He's thrown for 29 touchdowns and just 8 interceptions. Dak continues or has dominated the Giants. Hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully they're able to get home and cause some discomfort and make Dak Prescott take his first L to the New York Giants. Another key to victory Tom Downey told me about was the run game helping out. The Cowboys were able to run the ball a little bit against Philadelphia Eagles. Javonte Williams saw pay dirt 2 times, both from near or around the end zone, and hopefully the Giants' run defense steps up because they did not against Washington, and I'm sure the Dallas Cowboys under their new head coach, Schottenheimer, is going to try to pound the rock. The Cowboys are also going to look to pressure the quarterback, and that's a big one in this one. The Giants' offensive line did not play well against the Washington Commanders. Russell Wilson was under pressure for 49.8% of his dropbacks in Week 1. If the Giants can't protect, they have no shot at winning this football game. I'm looking for CeeDee Lamb to have a big game, as is Mr. Tom Downey. Dropped 4 passes in the season opener. Usually you don't see superstar players the caliber of CeeDee have 2 bad games in a row. I'm sure Dallas will try to get him involved early and often. And CeeDee, he has a way of just dominating the Giants. And key number 5 for Mr. Downey, don't get out-coached. And I'll revisit this on my keys to victory. It's a rookie head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Daboll hasn't had that great of a tenure with the New York Giants. I think the coaching battle is going to be huge in this matchup. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, though. We're going to be live for the game on Sunday, and we put out videos every single day on your New York Football Giants. And Tom has challenged us to a subscriber battle. So if you love the Giants and you want to beat the Cowboys and you hate the Cowboys, hit that subscribe button and get free Giants videos every day. Coming up next, I'm going to give you my 5 keys to victory for Big Blue and my prediction for who is going to win this football game. Excited to dive into that. First, though, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Chubby's. Shout out to Chubby's for sponsoring today's video. Go to chubbyshorts.com/chatsports and get $10 off your purchase today. All of that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. Shout out to Chubby's. Look, I'm someone that has always kind of had a hard time finding shorts that fit. I no longer do because Chubby's has mastered comfort and style as well. And their fall collection, it's coming back, and it's coming back strong as ever. Major shout out to Chubby's. Take advantage of the deal. Get $10 off when you use that promo code ChatSports. The leaves are turning, the temps are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Just because the weather is changing over doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. Chubby's is here to make sure your fall wardrobe hits harder than a PSL on a slow Sunday morning with soft, stretchy fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. Mark your calendars. The Chubby's Fall Collection drops September 9th, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings the metaphorical and real heat. And later this month, they're launching the new Comfort Collection featuring the Everywhere Jogger. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, and everything in between. Whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or just leaning fully into fall comfort, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners $10 off your order with the code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com. That's code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com. Support the show and show your thighs some respect with Chubby's. All right, my number 1 key to victory for the Giants to get to 1-1 and beat the Dallas Cowboys is to get home with 4. I've watched a lot of Dak Prescott games against the New York Giants, and he continuously dominates them when they blitz. Dak Prescott is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League when it comes to handling the blitz. His Pro Football Focus grade against the blitz in 2023, 90.3, one of the highest in the National Football League. 81.1 in 2024 and 83.0 in 2025 against the Philadelphia Eagles. He has a way of diagnosing a blitz, having a plan for the blitz, and getting the ball out quickly. I still remember that game against Wink Martindale where the New York Giants gave up 500-plus yards to the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. You got to get home with 4. That's the key to success. You need Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, and Brian Burns to earn their money. If the Giants are going to have to bring extra bodies to get after the passer, send in 5, send in 6, it might work. But, yeah. The Giants have been burned before by Dak. He's great at standing in the pocket, facing the blitz, and finding the open receiver. Giants have to get home with their 4 beasts up front. And you got to stop the run as well. The Giants did not do that in week 2. And if you don't do that against the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to run the rock all day long. Brian Schottenheimer, he brings that type of mindset to the Dallas Cowboys. They want to run the football. They want to have an identity of being a smash-mouth football team. And if the Giants' run defense that played on Sunday against the Commanders shows up this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to lose this football game. The Cowboys didn't have the most success on the ground against the Eagles, but overall, pretty solid. 22 carries for 119 yards, 5.4 yards per tote. Javonte Williams is the clear RB1 in that backfield. Didn't have his best game, did touch the paint twice, but only 3.6 yards per carry. Miles Sanders did have a long run, 49 yards on one run, but outside of that, he was kind of stuffed by the Eagles. You're going to see some Cavante Turpin getting the ball out of the backfield. Dak Prescott, he could still use his legs a little bit. So the Giants, they got to put a hat on a hat. They got to be honest in their run lanes. They got to be ready to go, and they got to stop the run. Also, the Giants' offensive line, it has to step up. If they are going to protect the way that they did against Washington, you might not win a game this season. There are very few quarterbacks that can succeed under pressure at the rate that Russell Wilson had to operate in week 1. And we saw the Dallas Cowboys' new defensive front with Micah Parsons no longer in the fold and welcome Kenny Clark have a pretty decent day against the Philadelphia Eagles, who still have one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League. The Dallas Cowboys front created 20 pressures versus the Eagles. And it's going to start on the interior of that defensive line. Osa Odigizua is a player that can wreck a game inside the middle of that defensive line. He got a big payday from the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to show up, and you're going to need Greg Van Roten, John Michael Schmitz, as well as John Runyon to do their part. New Kenny Clark addition. He can get after the passer as well. The interior of this Giants offensive line is going to get tested. I'm not really scared of the edge rushers for Dallas, but if it's James Hudson out there at the left tackle spot, I don't really think it matters who the opposing edge rushers are. Dante Fowler can get it done. Marshawn Nealon is someone that has some juice. Not the most deep lineup. You lose Micah Parsons, you're not going to be great there. But the Giants' left tackle wasn't very good in week 1 either, allowing 6 pressures, 4 hurries, and 2 QB hits. Hopefully Andrew Thomas plays, and we get to see number Big 78 out there protecting the blind side of Russell Wilson. But it's not like Andrew Thomas is just like some walking miracle worker. He's not going to help Greg Van Roten in the run game. He's not going to help John Michael Schmitz getting put on his butt. John Runyon may benefit a little bit because he's got 78 next to him and they can work those duos and be on the same page and check the box of what the game plan is. But everybody's got to step up or you're going to be in trouble on Sunday. You got to find a way to establish a run game as well. The keys to success for an offense that is operated by Russell Wilson is simple. You got to run the football, and you got to give him time to operate. If you don't, you're going to lose the football game, and that's what they did on Sunday. Hopefully not this Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys' run defense was solid against Philadelphia Eagles, but as that game went on, the Eagles just started to turn out yardage in really advantageous situations for that offense. Jalen Hurts was able to take advantage of that defense. I don't expect Russ to be running quite like he did, or maybe he does run like he did on Sunday. He was the Giants' leading rusher. Saquon Barkley was kind of held under wraps, though, by Dallas. Will Shipley had a long run of 20. Outside of that, didn't do much. And A.J. Dillon getting 3.3 yards per carry on 3 carries. He had a 9-yard run as well. The Giants have to find a way to get it going. The running backs have to be better, and the offensive line has to be better, creating running lanes for these guys. Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, and Cam Scatterbu were non-factors on the ground for the New York Giants. Have to find a way to get that done. Brian Daboll talked about that at the Monday morning press conference. We've got to be able to run the football because when your running backs combine for 15 carries and 30 yards, you're not going to win games. And the Giants, they have to run the football. A Russell Wilson-led offense, it needs that. And now I'm looking at the head coach. I'm looking at you, Brian Daboll. Show me something. You're going up against a head coach in Brian Schottenheimer, who was coaching his second ever NFL game. It's a rookie head coach. You cannot be outcoached by him. You're a head coach that's entering his 4th season in the National Football League. You got to find a way to give your team a larger advantage than Schottenheimer in his first game in the NFC East against the New York Giants. Second game as a head coach, you got to be able to win that head coaching matchup. If you don't, if you can't outcoach Brian Schottenheimer, there's not many coaches you are going to be able to outcoach. And if you don't give your team an advantage on Sundays as a head coach, you're not going to be a head coach for much longer. I've been wondering for 2+ seasons now, what advantages does this guy give you? Hopefully he shows me something this Sunday. If you want it to happen, if you want to even up this record at 1-1, hit that thumbs up icon. Like today's video. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and showing love. My official prediction is the Giants are going to lose. I don't really feel very confident about this football team. I want to tell you I think they can win. And I do think there is a way that they can win. If they check the box on all those keys to victory we put out there, there's a shot they can win this football game. Man, I'm pretty demoralized after week 1, to be honest. And I just don't see how the New York Giants are going to consistently put up points unless Malik Nabers just does things that he did against the Indianapolis Colts. His offensive line without Andrew Thomas is one of the worst in the National Football League. Russell Wilson is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL when having to deal with pressure. And I'm sure the Dallas Cowboys are going to turn up the heat. I'll gladly admit I'm wrong if I'm wrong. I'm not going to huff and puff if I'm correct. I'm rooting for the Giants, but my heart says Giants are going to win. My brain and everything I saw on Sunday tells me they're going to lose 23-13. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.